Power Book 2 Episode 5, which is the mid-season finale, is certainly set up for 5 last episodes in the first season, and the storyline with Trace, Weston, Brayden's brother stealing Brayden's and Tariq's stash of pills is certainly going to have some consequences, but for who? I'm talking whether Riley or Trace Weston could be Brayden's first kill or Tariq's kill on the series. Welcome to MovieBot and let's talk about Brayden's first kill. So I hope you're all having a great week so far. This week we've broken down Tariq's character, his smart plays in my video on Monday, and I spoke about his rise and how similar his ways are to Ghost, and yesterday I spoke about how Tariq could have set up Sax with Davis McLean and Sax's deal. But today I'm talking all things about Brayden, his brother Trace Weston and Tariq, because we saw something play out which I think could have potentially a deadly consequence. But before I go on, if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, remember to smash the subscribe button. But with that being said, let's go straight into the storyline with Brayden's brother, because we saw some animosity between them straight away when we were introduced to his character in episode 2 when they had a run-in, and Brayden actually used the power of his surname Weston to get him off the hook after Trace punched a cop. And even in episode 5 we saw Tariq, who doesn't seem to like him either. After Trace dropped his drink over Tariq, Tariq came out and said next time that happens he's getting these hands and I'm serious. And I hope that's something we see with Tariq getting his hands dirty, because we haven't seen him really getting into any beef or any fights as of yet, but I do think it's coming in the next few episodes, and I think they've set it up perfectly after episode 5 when Trace went into Brayden and Tariq's room and stole the stash of pills. And a few of you questioned Brayden's loyalty and said it was Brayden who told him where to find the pills, but that's not the case. We're really going to see Brayden be loyal to Tariq. And don't forget, when Tariq entered Brayden's room for the first time, he said that the room belonged to his father before, and that's how they knew about the secret compartment, so his brother would have known about it too, and that's how we knew there would be a stash there. Many have questioned Brayden's loyalty, but I've read Brayden's character description before, and I'm going to read it again just before we talk about his loyalty and where he's going to lead to with his brother. But his character is described as charismatic, goofy, and loyal as they come. Brayden Weston is privilege personified, which proves invaluable when he's reunited with his former roommate Tariq at Stansfield. Eager to reignite their high school drug business, Brayden leverages all of his advantage to expand his role in the game, but as the reality of the drug world gets increasingly closer to home, will Brayden be ready for the danger that comes alongside the rush? So that's Brayden's character description, and we've seen pretty much everything play out apart from the last part of the character description, which said, but as the reality of the drug world gets increasingly closer to home, will Brayden be ready for the danger that comes alongside the rush? And this is what is really playing out now with Trace stealing the stash of pills, because now the drug world is getting increasingly closer to home, which I believe will be his brother. This is where I believe Brayden's loyalty will really be tested, because sooner or later him and Tariq will notice that the stash of pills are missing, and when they do, I think fingers will firstly point at Riley. Now let's talk a little bit about Riley before I come back to Brayden's brother, because I think she's in real trouble. She's actually Holly 2.0, and this is why I think her time on the series could be really short-lived, especially because there's a really common theme in Power. If you're a snitch or a spy, you're pretty much as good as dead, like Spanky, Tony Teresi, Omar, and the list goes on. And I've spoken about Riley potentially getting the bullet or joining Tariq's side in this video here, and this is what I really hope that happens. I hope Riley joins Brayden and Tariq's team and Tariq uses her against Cooper Saxe. But I think I said in my previous video that I think I'm leaning more towards her being killed off, because I think this could really be the kill that could flip the script on Cooper Saxe, because he thinks he has his man now, Tariq, who shot Ghost with the help of Riley. But if she dies, she disappears, then Saxe has a real problem, because that blood will be on his hands, because he's the one who sent her to get information. But as I said, I really hope they don't kill her off yet, because I want Tariq to use her against Saxe, join Tariq's team, but I just don't think this is going to happen. So let me know what you guys think about Riley either being killed by Brayden or Tariq, or her potentially joining their side. But back to Brayden, and back to that last part of his character description, because although I reckon all fingers will be pointed towards Riley at first, there's no doubt that Trace will be caught selling those pills, and they'll find out that it was him who stole the pills instead of Riley, and this is where there's trouble. Monet is going to want her money, because we've already seen Monet warn Tariq in episode 4 that she wants him to always be on time, always have the correct amount of money, and always pay in cash. And when Tariq can't pay Monet because Trace stole his stash, we're gonna have a problem. And this is where I think Brayden's loyalty will be tested, because remember how we also saw Tariq warn Brayden about Kane when he was explaining who the Tardas are when he was using the chessboard? He explained that Kane is the rook and he's the one that he needs to worry about. He's the shooter. And if anybody turns up and knock over the right piece, and notice how Tariq has his finger over the rook, and could this be foreshadowing Kane coming over to deal with Brayden's brother? Because there's no doubt that Monet warned about Tariq that she wants her money on time, and when she wants something dealt with, who does she send? Kane. This is where I think Kane could come in and deal with Brayden's brother, and Kane won't care who Trace Weston is. His surname won't mean shit when Kane stood in front of him, and this is where I think Kane could stop just short of killing Trace and instead giving the gun to either Brayden or Tariq as a way to test their loyalty. And remember how Kane gave his gun to Tariq? I think that gun is going to come into play, and this is where Brayden's loyalty could really be tested, and I genuinely think there's a possibility of him killing his brother as a way of him showing loyalty to Kane and Tariq, because a lot of people have been questioning Brayden's loyalty, but I definitely think we'll see him show his loyalty towards Tariq and kill his brother Trace. And a lot of you have mentioned this in my comment section as well, so there's a lot of you that agree with what I'm saying, but for those who have a different opinion, just drop your comment down below and I'll try and reply to as many of you as I can. And this is where Brayden's second part of his character description will come into play, because where it said the reality of the drug world gets increasingly closer to home, will Brayden be ready for the danger that comes alongside the rush? And if Kane does turn up and hands Brayden the piece and tells him to pull the trigger, and if Trace is Brayden's first body that he drops, then we're really going to see his character changing, because those of you who have been following me for a while have noticed I've been saying that we're going to see a different Brayden at the end of the series of book 2. His character is definitely going to develop the most alongside Tariq, and his character will get darker and darker as the show goes on. He does have a little temper as well, and we've seen that when he flipped on Riley when they went to buy booze for Tariq's party, and so he definitely does get triggered and he does have a short temper, and this is the character that I'm looking forward to seeing develop the most, because I feel at the end of book 2 Brayden really will be my favourite character of the show. And how ruthless would it be for Brayden to have to kill his own brother? Do I think he'll hesitate in pulling the trigger if he's faced with the task of killing his brother? I genuinely think he'll look his brother in the eye and his brother will beg him and tell him to spare him, but I don't think Brayden will hesitate. I don't think he'll even say sorry to his brother. I think he'll put the gun to his forehead and pull the trigger if he's given the task to, and this will be the ultimate show of loyalty, not just to Tariq, but to the Tejadas as well. And well, the teaser that they released for episode 6, which was the chessboard, there's a lot of pieces that are being destroyed, and if you notice, all of the pieces that are being destroyed, well, most of them anyway, are on Tariq's side. So could we see a lot of bodies dropping from Tariq's side in the next couple of episodes? But let me know what you think about Brayden potentially killing his brother. Do you think Brayden will kill his brother, or do you think it could be Kane or Tariq? Because I definitely think he's going one way or another. So let me know your thoughts down below, and if you have any comments or theories, or you want me to talk about anything else, then drop me a comment down below and I'll be sure to incorporate it in my videos, because I'm still going to be breaking down key storylines all week, and I'm going to be talking about Kane and Drew tomorrow, because Drew's storyline has been picking up over the last couple of episodes. And well, for those of you who have been following me for a while know that I broke down Drew's character description as well, and so I'm going to be talking about deadly consequences, Drew versus Kane, and another potential brother killing. So let me know your thoughts and comments down below, and if you haven't done so already, remember to smash the subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.